Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Space. I'm Anna, and today we have a very special episode for you. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been in the situation where you wanted to borrow something, use someone's phone, or even go out with your friends, but you weren't sure how to ask politely in English? Well, that's what today's lesson is all about. English for asking permission.
That's a really important topic, Anna. In daily life, people often need to ask for permission. Maybe you want to use your teacher's pen, open a window in a classroom, or even ask your parents if you can watch TV. If you know the right words and phrases, you'll sound more polite and confident.
Exactly. And today we're going to make this super simple and practical. We'll talk about the common phrases, we'll practice with some easy dialogues, and we'll also give you tips on how to respond when someone asks you for permission. By the end of this episode, you'll feel ready to use these phrases in real life.
Great. So, let's start with a little list of the most common and useful phrases for asking permission. These are phrases you'll hear and use all the time.
Yes, some of the most useful ones are, can I? Could I? May I? Is it okay if I? Do you mind if I? Would it be all right if I?
That's right. And depending on the situation, some sound a little more formal and some sound casual. For example, if you're talking to a close friend, you might say, "Can I borrow your pencil?" But if you're talking to a teacher or in a formal place, you might say, "May I borrow your pen, please?"
Good point. Let's practice with some short examples before we dive into the longer conversations. Imagine I'm your friend Tony. I want to borrow your phone. I could say, "Hey Tony, can I use your phone for a moment?"
And I could answer, "Sure, no problem." Or, "Sorry, my battery is low, maybe later."
Exactly. The key is to be polite, whether you're asking or answering.
All right, shall we go into our first full conversation example?
Yes, let's do it.
Excuse me, Mrs. Green. May I leave class a little early today?
Why do you need to leave early?
I have a dentist appointment at 3 p.m.
I see. Did you finish your homework for today?
Yes, I completed it last night.
All right. Since you finished your work, you may leave 10 minutes early.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Green. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Next time, please tell me in advance.
Yes, I will. May I go now?
Yes, you may. Have a good appointment.
Thanks again. Goodbye, Mrs. Green.
Goodbye.
That was a good example of a formal situation. The student used "may I" to be polite with the teacher.
Exactly. And the teacher also answered politely, sometimes allowing and sometimes reminding about rules. That's how real life works. You don't always get permission, but asking politely makes a big difference.
Right. Now, let's look at more casual situations. For example, between friends.
Perfect. Let's go to our second conversation.
Hey Alex, can I borrow your new video game for the weekend?
Which one? The soccer game or the racing one?
The soccer game. I want to play it with my cousin.
Okay. But can you take care of it? Don't scratch the disc.
Of course, I'll be careful.
All right then, you can borrow it. But please bring it back by Monday.
Sure, no problem. Thanks a lot, Alex.
No worries. By the way, do you mind if I borrow your headphones in return?
Not at all. Here you go.
Great. Thanks, Mark.
Anytime.
That's a great example of everyday life. Friends often borrow things, and asking permission politely helps keep the friendship strong.
Yes, and notice how they also exchanged favors. One borrowed the game, the other borrowed headphones.
Exactly. Asking permission often leads to cooperation. Now, let's make it a bit more interesting with a situation in a public place.
Okay, let's do it.
Excuse me, may I use one of the library computers?
Yes, of course. Do you have your library card?
Yes, here it is.
Thank you. You may use the computer for 1 hour.
Is it okay if I print some pages too?
Yes, you can print, but there is a small fee per page.
That's fine. Could I also save my work on this computer?
No, I'm sorry. For safety, you cannot save files on our computers.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. Please remember to log out after you finish.
Sure, I will. Thanks again.
That conversation shows another useful thing. Sometimes permission is limited.
Yes, like you may do this, but not that. It's important to understand not only when you get permission, but also the conditions.
Exactly. Now, for our final conversation, let's show how to ask permission in a family situation.
Perfect. Let's go to the last one. Dad, could I go to the concert this Friday night?
What concert is it?
It's a music concert at the city park. My favorite band is playing.
Who will you go with?
I'll go with Sarah and Tom. We'll take the bus together.
What time will you come home?
The concert ends at 9:30. I'll be home by 10.
That's a little late.
Please, Dad. I promise I'll be safe.
All right, but only if you finish your homework first. And don't forget to text me when you arrive.
Of course. Thank you so much, Dad.
Okay, you may go.
Yay! Thank you. That's such a classic example. Kids often need to ask permission from parents, and parents usually set conditions.
Exactly. And it shows how polite language like could I or may I helps make the request stronger.
Now that we've gone through these 4 conversations, let's dive deeper into practice and explanations so our listeners can really master this. Wow, Tony! Today's episode was packed with so many useful tips, examples, and conversations. We started with the basics of asking permission, phrases like can I, could I, may I, is it okay if I, and do you mind if I? Then we explored real-life conversations, from classrooms and libraries to family situations and friendly exchanges. I think our listeners now have a full toolkit for asking permission politely in English.
I agree, Anna. And what's important is not just memorizing the phrases, but also practicing them in real situations. Our listeners can start small, like asking, can I open the window? Or may I borrow your pen? The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
That's true. And remember, permission is about respect. When you ask politely, you show respect for other people's things, time, and feelings. And when you answer, you also have the choice to say yes or no politely. Both sides matter.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, here's a little challenge. Today, try using at least one of the permission phrases you learned, maybe at school, at work, or even at home. For example, you can say, "Is it okay if I watch TV now?" Or, "Do you mind if I sit here?" It's a small step, but it builds confidence.
I love that idea. And if you like, share your experience with us. Did you get permission? How did the other person answer? Learning English is not just about vocabulary. It's about communication, and communication happens when you actually use the language.
Well said, Anna. And that wraps up today's episode.
Thank you all for joining us here at Simple English Space. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, good English opens doors. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss other videos. See you next time.